Fatback Jackson. Ooh, with my co-host
Jordan Lee, F it is just me.
And this is the Cookout Podcast.
The world's most secure podcast.
Pull up and grab a seat, get a plate, we gon' eat. With Chucky and Jay Lee, I'm Vuskeen, I'ma preach.
Run through the city, we stay lit. It's the Cookout, pull up it. And your feels opinions, whole vibe go violent.
Cookout,
Eat up,
pull up,
drink up,
we lit,
always.
talk shit.
It's the cookout, y'all.
Yo, what up, what up? It's your host, Vuskeen, aka Fatback Jackson, with Big Dog, Chucky Russell. How you feeling, my brother?
Good, man.
You know, we asked the Cookout Podcast, baby. Just had a birthday. How you feeling?
Man, it was a good weekend.
Uh-huh.
Good weekend. I'm blessed to be 37.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people, unfortunate, didn't make it to my age. So
Right.
I'm blessed.
Right.
To see
R.I.P.
another
to him.
year.
Right.
So,
Oh yeah. We had a ball.
oh yeah.
As usual.
Oh,
As
for
usual.
sure.
As usual. You know, at the Cookout, we always like to bring people that's, you know what I mean, that we see moving the right way. So today, we got Big G, we got Lil G, we got Fendi, and we at the Cookout Podcast, my brothers. How y'all feeling?
Feeling pretty good
How
tonight.
y'all feeling? Gonna turn your mic this way, right there. So, how's it?
Definitely.
Y'all
blessed.
made it. This my guy, man. I be saying him, man. I just like his style, man. I just like y'all style, like, you know what I'm saying. Y'all cut, but y'all just some cool dudes. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you find people that, you know, they good at what they do, and when you meet them, they just be just unlikable people. You know what I'm saying? And Gary, you know, I done known you since a shorty. So my first question, I want to start with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, tell us how you even got in the barber game.
Honestly, I started cutting hair when I was in high school, just as something to make a few dollars, you know, a buck here and there. And I had moved to Columbus, and I was working a labor job. I was loading trucks. I stayed with my father for a while, and it really wasn't what I wanted to do, so I wasn't really working hard at doing that. And my grandmother, she made me an offer that if I wanted to go to barber school, because she liked the way, she seen that I could cut hair, seen that I could astound, you know, that I could build on it. And she said, if you want to go to barber school, I'll help you go to barber school. So I moved back to Dayton, where I'm originally, where I was raised at and went to high school at and went to barber school in Dayton.
Okay. And then when your first shop you worked in, was that here or was that in
Actually, the first shop I worked in was in Dayton. It was actually in Trotwood, Ohio. It was called Blessed Barbers. So that was many years ago. So I've been doing this for quite a while now. So.
And then right after that, did you make your way up to Middletown after
Yes,
that?
I did. I met my wife, and I pretty much started visiting Middletown for days, sometimes weeks, you know, and driving back and forth, working in Trotwood. So eventually, I started cutting hair here in Middletown at a barbershop called Cutting Heads. I don't know if many people, if y'all remember Cutting Heads, but you know, that was.
I done got many cuts.
Yeah, definitely. So you know, and that was probably one of the best career moves that I ever made. Michael really gave me a great fair opportunity to grow in Middletown. So yeah, but that was the first shop, and it was on the corner of Woodlawn and Curtis. So yeah.
Old days, I had a
Yeah,
store
that was
right
a
there.
good
You
time.
got a haircut.
People just show up at the barber shop. They don't even want to cut. They just want to just come
Just
in
hang
here.
out with us all day.
Hang, yo.
We had the turntables in the barber shop. We was playing music. We had Sean Forrester on the mic. Al Best was DJing. You know,
Shout out to Sean, man.
It was
He
always
gave
good.
us our first start in music, man.
Yeah, Sean was a great dude. Yeah, so that's where it all started at, though, and started building. And like I said, I was appreciative for that opportunity, and I was there for probably about 2 years. Most of y'all was little boys.
Yeah.
We
Y'all
was
mamas
we
was
was
dropping
young.
y'all off. You know what I'm saying? So You know,
That's why I used to get dropped off and get the ball fade back then.
man.
That was you had to get that last. He like, man, I don't want my hair cut like that. Boy, you better get that hair cut because you ain't coming back for another 3 weeks. So it's gonna have to work.
that's right.
It's gonna have to work.
Man.
Yes, sir.
Now you got cats every couple days they getting lined up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, they are.
I done lost it now, so I just go clean. I go with a 5 o'clock shadow, so I'm clean. Every now and again, I might slide in the barbershop just to get a clean trim, but other than that, I went and bought my own. I went and bought me some little $90 joints.
As we grow, that's how things go.
But our city, we done seen it change. Like, so what was it like when you first started cutting here? Like, what, like the atmosphere, the whole town?
To be honest with you, I really see Middletown as a great city still. I still I still think that it's a great place to live. Back then, most things was concentrated in one part of the city. You know what I'm saying? So it was like all the barbers were within 5-6 blocks of each other. Now we kind of spread out a little bit, give it a little bit of option. We moving more towards the highway cutting hair, and we getting a little bit more options like that at this particular time. But back then, it was like 3 barbershops in Middletown. It was Reds, it was Dead Eyes, it was Cutting Heads, and I know
That's it, ain't it?
that's it. I want to say that was it at that time.
That's it.
So yeah, and now it's like 6-7 barbershops, at least 6 or 7. It's quite a few barbershops.
It's a lot just on our block.
So and it's great to see young men, getting the opportunity to grow and build a business in the city. A lot of the younger guys who are now cutting hair, I grew up watching them play pee-wee football and basketball and baseball and running around the community, you know what I'm saying? And I know most of their fathers, you know what I'm saying? And I cut some of their hair, some of them I didn't, but I still made a lot of great friends. So, I think that the look of Middletown has changed, but the family atmosphere is still here.
Right, facts. That's a fact. So I want to get over to y'all, man. Like, how did y'all? I mean, I know you probably grew up like seeing your pops cut. So so did you start cutting like early, like trying at least?
No, actually, I grew up in the barbershop. Like, I remember after elementary school, I'm getting dropped off at the shop till pops go home. Like, but I didn't start cutting hair until right after COVID.
Keep going. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up a little bit.
I decided like I needed to put something behind my name. Like, I wanted to make something of myself at that point. I felt like I was tired of working for somebody else, and so I decided to go to barber school, and it just was even better with my dad having a shop and being cutting for so long. He just handed the torch to me like easily. He taught me stuff just by him being my dad and knowing how to conversate with me and get things through to me at the age I was. He taught me stuff that nobody else could with a couple words. Like, he didn't have to go deep into this what I need you to do. Like, he just watch that next time. Like, and that's how it was, and it helped me be the barber that I am now so fast. Cause I only been cutting for like 3 years, 2-3 years, and I only been out of school for a year. It'll be a year at the end of this month.
We having a malfunction. We have malfunctions at the cookout sometimes, man. Let me see this. So what about you? Like, was you how you really get into it?
With me, it was kind of different because like I was in high school when I started. It was like somewhere we all play sports and stuff, and I kind of started just wanting to kind of go down my own lane with it. Nobody really was doing it. I want to say nobody was doing it for real. Like, I kind of just was different with it. They kind of clowned me at first, but it's like where I'm at now is like I just laugh because it's like I put the work in with it, and it's like I don't really got to talk too much because like that my cut's gonna show for what I do.
Facts.
But yeah, with me it was different. I want to say I started in the 9th grade, so that's like almost 10 years ago. But like him, I just graduated barber school because I went the college route, played football. But I would say that's where I really honed in on my skills, though. Right. It wasn't barber school. It was more just like cutting the public, getting their feedback, and then living with it. It just pray they come back to you. If they don't, learn from it. Keep watching tutorials. It was like you gotta study it. Like it gotta be just like football. Watching film, you gotta watch film. You gotta hone into the OGs. Like I remember it was times me and G back at the old shop on Main, we would just go in there chilling. Like he cutting all night. Like I'm watching. I'm locked in because it's like that's what I want to do. So you gotta watch the OGs. You gotta give them their flowers. You gotta like watch what they do and do what you do and like put it together, and that'll make you better at the end of the day.
Right.
So,
It's always dope.
yeah.
That's what we do. We watch everything that we do that we trying to do. We watch the other people that did it before us, and we be like, man, how can we put our spin on this? You know what I'm saying? Definitely.
Man. So with you, Gary, Big G, what made you make that transition from cutting heads to eventually getting your own shop?
Really, it was just time and opportunity. There is another barbershop that I did forget about, and that barbershop was the barbershop that I ended up cutting hair in, and that was Willie Mirable's shop downtown.
He was an
downtown.
older guy.
Yeah, he was an older guy with an older
my dad
clientele.
took me there before I got my hair cut before, long time ago.
And I was working for Michael, and the owner of the properties was Harry Finkelman. And Harry Finkelman called and he said that he had another building that was just open for rent, And I talked to him, and went and met with Harry. He told me to look, and I peeked through the windows, and it didn't look like really what I wanted it to, what I thought it would look like.
Right.
But it was a great opportunity for me to have my own barbershop,
Right,
get
right.
my own opportunity to have my business. And like I said, I give so much appreciation to Michael because Michael and Al Best is who really brought me to Middletown and gave me the opportunity to cut hair. So, I give great honors to them because they truly gave me a great opportunity in life because that's also how I raised my family, how I built my kids, Like, little Gary didn't really take a lot of interest in cutting hair, but I raised him in the public, you know what I'm saying? I raised him in front of everybody, you know what I'm saying? And that made... Well, I think that's gonna make him a better person because he'll know how to associate with a lot of the people in his community. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of knowledge in the barbershop. Sometimes people take those things for granted, but sometimes you really be surprised at the things that you could really, really, really learn from a barbershop and the things to go around.
Definitely. I done heard a lot of game in the barbershop. A lot of game.
Yeah.
A lot of game.
For real, like that's what the famous phrase, that barbershop talk.
Right.
Like, barbershop talk be anything. Start off with debating, if it's sports, whatever. Like that's the main.
Life.
That's the main sports.
Life,
Everything.
Life.
Yeah. Like, you just talk about it in the barbershop.
And then speaking about like just life in general with y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I always see y'all like y'all focused on what y'all doing. But I know coming up, in Middletown, like it's, you got the street side of things. So was it a lot of like guys that y'all grew up with that kind of like jumped off the deep end, and you know what I'm saying, and y'all kind of seemed like, man, this wasn't the route I wanted to go?
Personally for me, yeah, because like when you growing up, it's normal. So like you would be friends with people and like, when you get to a certain age, it just start falling off. But it's kind of like they falling off, but y'all still in the same room with each other. It's just kind of like you growing and they not growing, but it's like we all in the same like we all in the same place still because like we from here. But it's like we definitely like growing at different paces because that's just the way life go. But it's definitely like that though, especially now being a little older. It's like now it's kind of like permanent because people dying, and it's like that's where it's kind of like fucked up because it's like we were supposed to all grow old type shit and see each other. Even if we're not cool, we supposed to be in the same community still.
Right.
So it's like that with me.
Right. It's wild that you said that before you go, Lil G, like, because back then, like, you had people that you growing and they not growing, but now people, they dying.
Yeah.
People dying for real. Like, when we was coming up, you know what I'm saying, people might go to jail and, you know what I'm saying, or they might get on some drugs and then get back cool after that, but they checking out.
They
out
checking
here.
out.
Man.
Like
At a record rate.
Yeah.
But like, did you go through that too? Like some of the people you was around, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like the same way as Nolan, cause like I grew up with these people. We played sports together, like, and I could just like imagine us being older than we are now together, and like they ain't make it to that point. But like I feel like it also be the way people view things, like they outlook on life. Like some people want more than they circumstances, and some people is cool with where they at. And that's where like you got to separate yourself, because if you want more, you can't kick it with the people that's cool where they at all the time, because they gonna pull you back down and make you cool where you at. And you gotta be comfortable being uncomfortable to be able to survive that kind of stuff.
I always thought it was dope because I kind of had that balance. Like when I came up, you know, I used to get into things that I ain't had no business being in. You know what I'm saying? I had we had it was a whole crew of us, and we had homies that, you know what I'm saying, that partaked in, you know what I mean, and doing crimes, and I had other homies like him who wasn't into crime. You know what I'm saying? Like he was a working guy, but I sat back and looked at it like I was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. But I'm like, man, my homies like him, I'm like, you know, he working, but he having though. He doing everything that we do. He smoking good. He popping bottles when we pop bottles. When we go to shop, he go in the shop. He riding clean like how we riding clean. So I'm like, man, let me sit back and try to, you know, watch what bruh doing and just let me get my paper right. And legit life ain't bad. It's not bad. We still do what we want to do. You know what I mean? I think some of the young guys don't understand, like, you don't gotta do all that to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? They, I wanna go out and I wanna hustle and I want all the girls to want me, man, because when you go and you doing them 5-10 years, the girl going to the next guy. So
the problem the problem is, man, they just addicted to fast money. You know what I mean? Like they like to see that, oh, let me get that quick 500. But little do you know, with that little 500, it's a lot that come with that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, says, I don't know, you might get pulled over or something on your way to that just for 500, or, you know, anything can happen. You might get set up or something. Like, it's a lot that come with that. So what's wrong with legitimate money? Like, you know, you ain't got to worry about that. Especially like once you it ain't nothing better than doing what you love to do, because it's not a job after that. Like, if you love to do what you do, it's not a job. It's really not a job. Like, because you love to do it. Like, you just happen to make money off of it. You know what I mean? You got to look at it like that.
For sure.
I think that, you know, a lot of young men, a lot of I'm going to speak from my kind. I'm going to speak as it is. A lot of young black men knows that we have to grow. We have to learn and process. And the biggest thing that we got to learn is accountability. And once you get to the point that y'all at in life, y'all willing to be accountable for the choices that you make, the things that you do, the decisions that you do, and what you might and might not do in the day, you ready to be accountable for that. Younger guys haven't really understood what accountability is. They expect for other people to be accountable for the choices that they make. And it's usually somebody's family that's heartbroken at the end of it, and it's not them. So until they get to that point, and they will, because everybody does get to that point, to where you realize that you got to be accountable for the choices that you make. That's when you really begin to grow.
That's
when you really begin.
And I feel like too, it's kind of like hard seeing it too, because it's mostly like, well, I feel like with the people that beef with each other inside the city, it's so stupid, because it's like we need each other more than anything, because it's other cities that hate us out here, and if they see us beefing with our own stuff, it's like that shows we a weak link in that like era of things, because it's like we beefing with each other, but it's so much more shit out here in the world that's like we need to be sticking with each other for real, like as a community. Like we all grew up with each other and now we hate each other. It's like where shit go left at kind of thing. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, we definitely more powerful together than we are fighting against each other.
That's what's scary. Like America don't want to see that. No. They don't want to see us come together. Because if we come together, skies is beyond the limit. You know what I mean? Like, for real. Like, because you see a lot of people in the music business that, you know what I mean, they took that what they learned from whatever they was doing, they dirt they was doing, they applied it to their business, and now look at them. A lot of the people that's got money now, they were drug dealers. They just took that mindset and put it in the business. You know what I mean?
500 companies.
Yeah, that's what I be saying. Like a lot of these cats, they be smart out here if they apply that knowledge to legal business or something like that.
They'd be surprised.
For real. For real.
Definitely be surprised.
Yeah.
Like I said, I like y'all guys because I like y'all style, man. I feel like I want to give y'all the name of the fly barbers. And I've been seeing, like, well, Gary always was dressed right. Yeah. But I'm seeing Gary coming here now. He got the New Balance on. He got a couple rips in his jeans. he got the young boy fitted on. So y'all done rubbed off on Gary. Like, what's going on, man?
Be stepping up a little bit.
A little bit. He got to match the
And what's the thing with you, man? You New Balance, that's your thing, huh?
Yeah, I'm on the New Balances and Asics bad right now.
Okay.
Yeah, and they comfortable too, and it's and it's like, it's one of them shoes it's gonna be like they'll catch on later, and it's like them prices I know they gonna catch on later too, so I'm getting it right now because it be like that. And I got a story, like, it's crazy because I know them dunks been going like crazy, but it's like I remember when Gabe's opened up, they had a full size runs of these ones that's going for like crazy prices now. It's the brown ones?
Yeah, De La Soul dunks.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, that's crazy, boy. Like,
I seen a dude walking. The crazy thing, I don't know if we was there the same day or not. I seen a white dude walking out with bags of them.
Yeah.
He was walking out with bags, but I've been in the sneaker thing since I was in high school, so I'm looking like, you just got them out of there?
Yeah.
I wanted to just take the bag and take off. I'm like, man, yeah. But them dunks is heavy though.
Yeah.
But and the crazy thing, I got a quick little story. My man's he got family that's down from Virginia.
Yeah.
So in that DC, Virginia, Maryland area, the DMV, they been on them. So I remember I went down there with him and I seen guys wearing these one style of Reeboks and they was wearing the New Balances.
Yeah.
And this was when here I think like just Jordans and Air Force Ones was popular. Right. But I remember I went into I think it was a Dick's. And I pulled up a pair of New Balances, and I seen that they was like some of the cheapest pair I seen was $125, and then it was some that went all the way up to $200, and this was back in like 08, 09, and I'm like, man, but the guy was telling me like it's because of the comfortability. You know what I mean? Right. It's a comfortable shoe, and it's crazy now because my mom wearing New Balances. Because she like they comfortable.
They definitely coming down. Like.
So I'm a little bit older, but back in my day, New Balances is what it was when I was in high school. Get you some New Balances, a nice little button down or something, you know.
You know how stuff move around.
Right.
So
those Reeboks
come back.
Was those Reebok legacies that they was wearing?
The what?
You said they was wearing a Reebok when you was in
they was wearing
legacies.
Yep.
Were they the legacies?
Yeah, they was wearing legacies.
Go hard too.
I had a pair of them. They got me to get a pair because I used to go down there every summer.
They're comfortable though. They are comfortable.
I had a pair of them.
And it's crazy. I was with my mom yesterday. We went shopping, and she like I used to have a real bad sneaker addiction, man. She had to get a surgery, and it wasn't no big surgery, but I was in 8th grade, and the Allen Iversons was coming out with the zippers.
I got them.
And she was like, yeah, if I get out of here in enough time, I'm she had to get the surgery at Jewish Hospital, which was right across the street from Kenwood Mall. Right. And she's like, I get out of here in enough time, we're gonna go by there and get them. So I ain't even, after her surgery was done, and she like, I'm good. I'm like, everything's straight. I'm like, well, you want to just give me the card and I'll just go there. I had a bad problem. Yeah. But back to y'all, I feel like y'all like just, is it like, do y'all just throw it on, or do y'all really be like, all right, man, I want to go cut in this, or do you just be like, all right, I'm gonna just cut it regular? But because when I see y'all in pictures, that's when y'all like super. No, I see y'all fly when y'all cutting hair too. So it's just like y'all get up and just put it on in the morning.
It just depends with me because I got a son, so I'm taking him to daycare. It just depends, like whatever like side of the bed I wake up on, and because you always got a lot of clothes you just don't wear them because it's like you got what you really like. Right. But like I had them days like the sun shining, I'm waking up, I got some shit I ain't put on in a minute. and I'm putting it on because at the end of the day, it's gonna get washed anyway. So hair get on it, it is what it is. But we might be recording one day, so you never know. You might get caught with a good fit on. You might get caught with a bad one on. But like my pops always told me, you gotta dress to impress. It'll make you more money if people see that. People like that though. Like they like to say my barber fly. They like to gravitate towards that because it's like if your barber fly, it's like you being associated with that. It's like you fly.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's definitely one of them. What about you?
I feel the same way. Like I was younger. When I was younger, my mom said I used to want to match going to sleep. Like everything I put on, it gotta make sense. Like I'm not putting on nothing with different colors in it, and it don't nothing match up or nothing like that. Everything I put on, I'm gonna have to have some of the same colors somewhere. But like I feel like it's just more like right now I be on the Air Maxes. Like I be messing with the Air Max, the 95s. Trying to bring them back for myself because they comfortable shoe. I'm cutting hair all day anyway, so I could throw them on with a fit, and I don't care what they look like at the end of the day. They Air Maxes. They ain't gonna lose no quality to them and nothing like that. But yeah, I really like the Forces though.
Yeah, I've been back on them this summer because they've been coming out with some good ones.
Yeah, they got some.
But y'all boys also be doing them fitteds though, man. Y'all be doing them fitteds.
I got too many fitteds.
Y'all be doing them fitteds.
You feel like a proud dad over here. You know what I'm saying?
He had called me. He like, man, where you at? I'm at Capanova, and then I had to go to Liz in Kentwood Mall. I went to Liz in I went to Liz in Fairfield Commons, bro. Like, you want to drive all the way down? Yeah, man. I want to have my size, bro.
He like that.
Exactly, especially because I got a big head, so I wear an 8, so I gotta have every store. If they don't got an 8, I gotta find it somewhere else. Yeah. But like for real, I'm close to 50 fitteds right now.
I think I got about 35, 40.
Yeah. I might have to pull my shit up here.
I'm not a big hat wearer.
Once my hair started going, I started buying even more. I be sneaking them in. You bought another hat? So, Gary, I want to go to this, man, because times is changing, man, and like we talked a little bit off camera, man. I remember you was able to get a haircut for $5, $10 and stuff like that. Now it's inflation on the haircuts, man.
Yeah. So
I know times is changing, so
times is changing really a lot as far as the actual act of cutting hair too. Mm-hmm. So it's not just that the prices is changing, but the act and the things that they're doing with cutting hair. It's really showing that it's really what it is. It's art, and art should be rewarded.
Right.
In time, I think that in past time, the barber has been looked at as somebody who's a service to the community versus for his real abilities. You know what I'm saying? When these two guys first came into my shop, they said that they want to cut hair, that they want to charge, what it costs, and it is what it costs for a haircut to cut hair. I still even have time biting off that it should cost that much for a haircut. But probably about 3 months ago, we was sitting and we was talking, and they was, they made it real aware to me. I mean, when you choose the barber, you don't just really choose to just do nothing that's just general. It ain't like what you do ain't worth nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You still have the same family as everybody else to raise, the same inflation, them same $5 carton of eggs, and in order, the same Duke energy bill. If you want more, you have to ask for more. You know what I'm saying? And we were put in a situation, I think, back in the past to where you only asked for what everybody else was asking for.
Right.
Because that's all that most people felt like you deserved. Right. Most people ain't even want to tip you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you want $13.72, you get $13.72. You know what I'm saying? So
$13.75 with my 3 pennies.
So through the conversation though, they had to bring me in respect to the craft.
Right.
And the fact that they got responsibilities and that the industry is growing. it's not what it used to be because they're doing it in a whole different way now.
Right.
You know, and it's not like it's just one person doing it. Everybody wants to do it. Because, you know, I did a little thing with him because it was a guy in the chair, and I asked him what did he think Nolan's degree was in, you know, and he said barbering, cutting hair. I said, no, Nolan has a leadership degree from Wright State University, a bachelor's degree in leadership. He chooses to cut hair for a living. You know what I'm saying? So he is educated to do something else, but he chooses to cut hair, so he should be compensated for the knowledge that he got, and he could take somewhere else to do something else too. And if you don't ask for it, you don't get it. Right. And of course, we all know that we don't want to pay $10 for that combo at McDonald's, but it used to be $3-4.
Right, right.
And that ain't been a long time ago.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
you know, it's just a change of time, and when people dedicate their lives and you know they time to it, then it should be respected in a different way.
Right.
I wish I was getting that kind of money when haircuts first came out. I think the first barbershop I cut hair in, raised the line and everything, we was charging $10 for an adult and like $8 for kids. You know what I'm saying? And we was putting out some of the freshest. We was putting out some of the freshest haircuts in Dayton, Ohio.
Man.
Yeah,
And it's crazy. It's dope that you said that though. If you watching this and you in that world, man, and you charging them prices, man, make sure you taking your craft serious.
For real.
Don't be like old boy on Coming to America and cut the tail off. You say that'll be $13.
Just cut the tail off.
Exactly.
Yeah, man, because a barber, that's like you take that personal, like you know what I mean? Like you take it personal. You ain't gonna just let anybody just cut your hair. You know what I mean? It's like therapeutic for real. Like if you think about it, like it's like a personal thing. Like you will mess around, and then before you know it, like man, this dude been cutting my hair for like 15 years. You know what I mean? Like
stuff about me that nobody else.
Right. Because if you think about it, your barber could be your therapist, it could be your comedian, it could be anything. Like it could be anything. You go in your chair, you feel the most comfortable. Just say whatever on your mind.
But most of our barbering, for real, is art. I mean, it takes an artistic ability to be able to do what you do at a good level, at a successful level where people want to come back to you and mess with you on the regular. Like, it take that art in it. Like, it's not, you can't just be out here like, I'm gonna grab some clippers and I'm gonna cut my hair. Like, you gotta know what you're doing.
Right.
Like, it's a thought process to it.
And I feel like it's only, you know, cutting hair, giving fresh face is only 50% of the job, because it's like you gotta be reliable, you gotta be professional, you gotta do something that the next man down the street ain't. Because you got, you know, like we live in a small city, but we all trying to eat the same way. So like it has to be something different about you. Right. So that's key. Like,
and you gotta stay consistent with it too.
That's just learning and staying updated about your community. Right. Like what's going on in the community and what can you do to like put your foot in the door.
Right. Facts. So what y'all you know, at the cookout we always, you know what I mean, we celebrating what, you know what I'm saying, people doing from the town. We talk about sports and we damn sure always talk about music. So like, do y'all listen to like certain music like before, like when y'all wake up to start y'all day before that first cut, like to get you going? Like what y'all listening to?
Me personally, I like to listen to my favorite artist right now, Lil Durk, but it just depends on what day it is. Like I might listen to R&B. I might wake up and listen to something hard just off the rip because it's like that's just how I'm feeling. Right. But like if it's consistent, it's probably a Lil Durk or maybe like really podcasts. That's what get me going. Like I gotta listen to a podcast about making money, something better than myself. You know, learning, and then I'll throw in the music. Like even in the morning at the shop. It can depend on who coming in, but you know, maybe I just might throw it on just because, like the R&B or the old school, because it's just how the vibe feeling outside.
Right, sure.
So,
yeah, I feel like I listen to a lot of podcasts. I try to get like some discipline or motivation or something, or even money making or barbering tips. Something I'm gonna watch even a YouTube video. Chris Bossy will be having some good ones, but like I'll watch a video on money management or being a successful barber, how they be six-figure barbers out here. and
They there.
and working behind the chair and being able to do other things while staying in the shop. Like I be trying to figure out and learn different things like that. But the music. I like listening to music. Like I listen to music all day. My favorite artist for real, like ESTG or G Herbo or somebody like that. Like I be wanting to go. Like, but I sometimes it get old. Like you gotta listen to some knowledgeable stuff because if you keep feeding your brain with that kind of stuff, like that's all you gonna think. But when you trying to get somewhere else, you gotta be able to listen to something else.
Right. You left out one of your favorite artists though, your brother.
I definitely did. I definitely did. Hey, ATM Kitty, he be stepping on every song for sure.
What about you, Gary?
So I listen to, Tupac.
Oh yeah, the greatest.
My dude is Gerald Levert.
Oh
I don't know
yeah.
if y'all know nothing about no Gerald
No,
Levert.
we know that. We talk about
Ohio zone.
I do like some young music though. I like No Cap. I like some of No Cap's music. I like They'll Tell You, cause I listen to it all day. But I like some of G Herbo. But I like all kind of music. Really, I like gospel. I like all kind of music. Some of the younger music is good. Some of it ain't. I like music to tell stories and make sense when you listen. And I do like my son Keyshawn.
Oh yeah.
ATM
boys.
Key.
If you
I do like some of his
check us
music.
out. They I had them feature on they did a feature for me. I got a Soul Food Sundays. Every Sunday we dropping two records every Sunday. And the 32 Boys got on a joint with me called Mud. It's streaming on wherever you listen to music at, YouTube, Amazon, Tidal, Apple, whatever. It's streaming on there.
Yes, sir.
Nothing but growth.
32 boys.
Yeah. Like I told you, I had to tap in with the young guys, man. I wanted to stay fresh. I wanted to stay fresh. Like, and it's just, I just like the mesh styles. Cause I'm still in that middle age. So I feel like I can rap with the older guy or with the young boys. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was definitely dope. It was dope, man. Shout out to Scrap too. Shout out to Scrap.
Yeah, definitely shout out
So
to Scrap.
we gonna get into the meat and potatoes of this, man, because our shout out to Jordan. She couldn't make it tonight. She had a test in her class. Shout out to her. But she normally would ask this question because she always be wanting to be in everybody's business. And you know you do, Jordan. But dealing with women and trying to deal with your profession. You know what I mean? We're gonna start out with you. You got a child.
Yeah.
You and the mother, y'all still together. So how you balance, you know what I'm saying, being a dad and you know what I'm saying, having to make your woman happy, but you like, man, I gotta chase this bread, I gotta get this bread.
It just takes a lot of understanding for real, and like being a barber, like people would say like it's a stigma, like us barbers, we need wives to have the insurance and stuff, but it's like in today's time, like we could, as men, we can take care of that ourselves. We really just need somebody who can be there for us mentally, physically. Like I ain't looking for no woman to just cook a meal and come home and raise my kid. I'm looking for a woman with the same mindset I got, because that's, two, like you put two together, that's gonna be faster than one trying to get rich. So I'm like, and then that's better to show our child too. Like if you got two people working towards it, because like my mom personally in my life, she was the breadwinner. Like my dad had a good job, but my mom was really getting it. So like seeing that, like I had to have a strong woman in my life, because it's like I'm watching my mom get it. There's no excuse. So it's like that's where I kind of and then it's like with my girl, it's like she's strong. She understands what I do, and she understands where I want to go. And it's like just being understanding.
Right.
That's key.
Right. You got a girl, G?
Yeah, I got a girl. We doing good, man. It take communication. Like
Don't get in trouble.
Yeah, I know. I'm starting stumbling on my words. But nah, for real though, it take communication. Like you got to be able to, like Nolan said, understand each other and get the point across. Like it's not that I'm not trying to neglect you, but like I got this to handle. Like so we can have more time later. But we, you know what I mean?
This
Like
bag right now.
yeah, I gotta get this bag right now.
Can I get go?
Go ahead, yeah.
So, me myself personally, I've been married for 23 years, and couldn't have made it without her. You hear me?
That's what's
From the
up.
beginning to the end. Like I said, Michael and Al provided me opportunity, but she provided me more than opportunity because she gave me the opportunity to meet people. You know what I'm saying? She kept me relevant to the community, and that's really how I originally started meeting people. And then once I got into the barbershop, I met even more people. So now my wife, we walking through the store, and she like, who is that? I'm like, wow, you don't know? She like, nah, you know more people than I know in Middletown, you know. But your woman, she got to be able to make a sacrifice, you know what I'm saying? Maybe not the sacrifice that my wife made because I was getting it. I'll be in my shop till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You know? People be riding by on their way to the club. Like, man, I seen you in here cutting hair, you know, because I would cut hair and get it like that, you know, so that I could get, so I can get my family catapult them to where they needed to be, you know. And it takes a lot of sacrifice from the woman, you know what I'm saying? So I hope these young women is ready for a lot of sacrifice because it take a lot of time to grow. Yeah. You got to get a lot of time and a lot of dedication of your time to the business, any business.
Right. Yeah.
You know, even to your podcast. You know what I'm saying? The things that you do, it just take time in life if you want it.
It'll be you know, we don't have, I got a son, but he a teenager now. But me and my fiance, we don't have any kids, so she kind of just roll with me. You know what I mean? Whatever I got going on, but that's all I need her. I mean, I need her to do other things, but I think it's dope that she come and support whatever I need. Definitely. You know what I mean? Like I've been trying to just dive in everything. I've been DJing. We got this podcast. My real job, I have a janitorial business. Okay. And when I first started off with that, I wasn't making no money until I got me a good crew. Once I got me a good crew, you know what I mean, everything was off and running. You know what I mean? Now we eating off of it. The business is doing great, and she stuck by me that whole time. Me salty like, oh man, I got this place I got to get to. I got these places I got to get to in Dayton, but the dude over in Westchester that told me he could start this morning, clean this building, he ain't coming. He ain't answering the phone. Yeah. You know what I mean? And she'd be like, all right, well look, I'll just come with you so we can knock that off in this time, and then we can just shoot up the road and go and hit this. So I'm grateful for that. So you need that woman, man.
Sure.
You need that woman. You need that woman.
Strong foundation.
All right, so fellas, tell us about the new. Well, Gary, Big G, tell us about the new barbershop, man.
So the new barbershop is a COVID creation, if you want to call it so. You know, so I actually had started leasing that building before because they were selling my building, and we had to. Me and the Hope House. I used to be next door to the Hope House. We both had to. Vacate the premises, and they built a new facility, and I had started renting the building, but you know, I had been I cut hair downtown on Main Street for 21 years, you know. I had been looking out that big old picture window, and people been watching me for 21 years. It was just kind of hard for me to leave, so I actually started leasing that building probably a year before I even moved into it. And then I just eventually moved into it, and you know, I'm going through some different things, you know, just getting older, you know what I'm saying, and things changing, you know. COVID took us to an appointment versus a walk-in clientele, you know. So that kind of just slid me out the way a little bit through all of that. And so it's kind of like a revitalization, you know, to have some young blood in there with me, some young guys just getting out of school to bring a different feel to the shop, you know, and some energy, you know. I'm always be who I am, so. You know, I'm always talking, have good knowledge, and I got a certain base of clientele, you know. But it's just good to, you know, get them to come in. So it's still growing. We're not where we want to be, but we're on our way there, you know. So.
You kept the name the same. You just put 2 on there, right?
Definitely. So I'm actually it's really a transition process. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to eventually. Just cut on a part-time basis, and Lil Gary and Nolan, you know, Bezo and Fendi, they'll be the ones in there running the shop for the most part. Even at this point in time, I've kind of I still kind of let them do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm in there most of the time through the week, but I got a second job that I work to, for a steady, for just some steady income that I know is gonna come every week, and I'm pretty much letting them handle the rest of the business, and they do a real good job. They really are. We growing, and it ain't me. It's them that's doing a lot of changes, and we adding a lot of things, and we got a lot of things that we want to do. So it's good to have some young minds. And so, we on Facebook and Twitter,
Instagram.
and we on the social, the social places that I probably wouldn't have taken us to.
Hey, it's crazy you said that because I was seeing that. I was seeing when the young boys was coming in the game. And I'm thinking about all the OGs. I'm like, man, they not. I'm like, man, somebody need to get them on social media. They gotta get on social media.
I'm gonna ask, what you think about the social media era?
Social media era. The social media era is it was tough. It was really a war rage on the older barbers, just like you said, and it still is, to a lot of times. I still cut a lot of older guys. Like I said, we book through the Cut app. All three of us is on the Cut app, which is a great app for both young and older barbers. It helps young barbers be seen by who might be looking at the older barbers if you get on there. But the problem is that, somebody in their 60s, maybe the 60s might play with it. But when they hit 70, they ain't about to go on the Cut app and book an appointment for a haircut.
They gonna pull up, man. You think they gonna take a walk in?
Right.
So with it being three of us in the shop, that's another thing that it adds is the versatility is that we do offer walk-in. Right. So we can't guarantee who will be available. We just can guarantee that within that time limit, we will get you in if you want to get in on a daily without going into the app, and you can't get into the app, you're scared of being penalized by the app because something might come up in your life, you're scared that they won't take your pay card, the app take your pay card.
Oh, they do all that too?
They take Cash App, pay card, anything.
So it's some order in there.
It's definitely, we take credit card now, we do take Cash App, and we take pretty much any kind of payment now, and it's just so much easier to book through the app. So the new shop is it's coming with a lot more energy. Y'all know me. I was in my corner even when I was downtown.
Right.
The majority of the time I was by myself.
Right.
I don't really worry about what nobody else gonna do. I just worry about what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to have some young guys to come in and take that over though and provide the same service to the community.
Y'all ready for that? Y'all ready for it?
I think we thriving though because it's like we a family first. Like it's like I'm not related to them like by blood or nothing, but we still a family. Like I've been around them forever, so it's like that's. I feel like people that come in the shop they get that aura though, like that is family oriented. Like we really a team. Like that's why we get stuff done because like where one may lack, the other one picking up, and it's like we sacrificing for that because we know where we can get to. Anything worth something gonna take work. So it's like we got that mindset to where like small steps is better than not stepping at all.
Right.
So I feel like we keep moving. It's gonna happen regardless.
Definitely.
And then making the best of what we got going on right now until we get to it. So it's like that with me. That's my mindset for sure. That's what keeps me going.
Right. Making the best of it till you get to it.
Yeah.
I feel like the same way though. Like stepping in with working with my dad, like you learn so much from it. Even when you think like I know what's gonna happen, I know what's going on. Like you still learning on a constant every day being in the shop. Different people coming in. You gotta understand certain people don't understand how to communicate like other people do. So they might come off rude when they walking in. Like it just be different. Like you gotta understand people. Like working in there, especially with my dad. Like it's a great experience. Like being able to see an OG.
Right.
And,
I know Gary has seen
in his habitat,
Right.
like
Seen it all.
normal, like he just chilling for real, and that's how he is on a constant basis. Like it helps for sure.
We have a lot of good times. It'd be really funny in there sometimes.
Definitely.
Just kicking knowledge. I really not just these two young men. I done seen so many young men grow in Middletown, and it's just really good to see them go to the places that they done went and the extents that they done went.
Right.
And I think if Middletown itself as a whole city don't realize it, they need to be proud of the opportunity that they do offer the people that live in it and the youth that live in Middletown. You know, one of the reasons that I moved to Middletown is so I can give my kids an opportunity to be social, you know, and get involved with the community and what was going on. And it's been really a great thing, and that's what I see still carries. I got an aunt. She called me probably about 4 months ago, and she said, "You all right up there in Middletown?" I said, "Yeah, I'm all right. Why you say that?" They be on the news every day. I said, "But for real though, it ain't like that."
It ain't
really like
I said, "That don't come
the
before
outside
me
world.
like that." You know what I'm
Right.
saying? This is a good city to raise kids in.
Yeah.
And to prosper in and to take your chances and your odds at life. You know, people is willing to give you an opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a family. It can't be one big family.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
you're gonna have your little odds and ends even in each of our own personal families.
Right.
But you know, it's just it's good to see these young men grow and to see all the young men coming in my shop. Guys like, you know, Calvin Moss had Coach Calvin Moss. He had to bring it to my attention that I had been cutting his hair since he was 15 years old, you know. And that is a long time, you know, to be in one city in one place cutting hair, you know. So it's been a great, and I think it's gonna be just as rewarding for them as it was for me, you know.
Oh yeah. But they got a good teacher, man. They got a good teacher, man. And then, like I said, I feel like y'all already got y'all's head on straight, man. I like y'all, man. I like y'all, man. I like y'all. I like y'all.
It's always good to see you moving in the community, Lou. I see
be
you
trying.
out
I be
everywhere
trying.
too,
I be
man.
trying, man. I be trying. I'm so stuck on. I don't even pay attention to when people like even talk about a little bit of the bad stuff that go on. I don't pay attention to it because I don't really I mean, I know those guys because, like you said, we all one big family, but I don't really associate myself with it too much. You know what I'm saying? I see you, I speak. You want to conversate? You got some jewels for me. I might have some jewels for you. But other than that, whatever you personally doing, I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the city gonna get back to how it was. I feel like I'm gonna be one of the pillars of it. You know what I'm saying? And don't be surprised if y'all get a call from me like, man, this is what I'm doing. I need y'all if y'all can come do this or do this or do that. And I'm gonna be calling a lot of y'all. You know what I'm saying? This looking at the camera. I'm gonna be calling a lot of y'all.
Man, like people don't realize, man, this city used to be, man, like Midfest. Like I'm talking the old Midfest to where like the food area, you had all the countries over there. Like you know, I'm talking that. Like I'm talking that Midfest. Like the carnival. Like we used to have a carnival back in the day with the swings and all that, the little Ferris wheel and all that. Like man, we used to be like it used to be lit.
But we do got the Juneteenth.
We do.
The Juneteenth
This will be the third
block
year.
party coming up. And then I'm trying to put something together, Fresh Fest. It ain't
Yeah.
Mid-Fest, but it'll
Yeah,
be
it's
Fresh
a
Fest.
Fresh Fest.
We gonna put it together, Fresh Fest.
For sure,
So
Tony.
yeah, man. So man, we appreciate y'all for coming through and rocking with us, man.
I'm sorry, man, but I know I'm on your platform.
Yeah, go ahead.
But I wonder if you get the opportunity, if you ask the community what the police is gonna do about our kids, man. You hear about things and murders and different things going on in our city, and they talk about it for 2 or 3 weeks, and then it dissipates, and nobody else brings that back up into attention. And I think that we got a lot of people that's more powerful than me, you know, that collect and do a lot of powerful things in this community need to speak up and ask the police and challenge them to explain why the investigations go so dead so fast into what happened to our young men in the city.
I just feel like they don't care, man, because they not, the cops is not necessarily from this community.
Right.
So I feel like they really don't care, man. I don't think, or if they is trying and we don't know that they trying, I mean they just don't have the resources. Get the resources then.
Definitely.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? We paying taxes and all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna keep it all the way a buck. And I don't know how much trouble it's gonna get me in. You bring a guy down here that wants to get drugs off the streets. He ain't really playing fair. I'm pretty sure that somebody, you know, he getting paid to do what he doing. You can be paying that same money that you got this guy down here for to have a what they would call it, like a homicide forensic guy. Give him the money. Because the guy that's getting the drug dealers off the street, he getting them off for a little bit, letting them tattletale, and then put them back on the streets. So you ain't fixing nothing. You know what I'm saying?
It just creates
You ain't
a
fixing
bad
nothing.
cycle.
I ain't gonna say no names or nothing like that, but if you watching and you still got an ear to the street, you know what's going on. So yeah.
And I think that's one of the biggest things, though, is that, like, you know, just being involved, being around the community. I'm not gonna say necessarily in-depth involvement, being around the community. I think, you know, if you heard this, then you heard that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And y'all need to put a little bit. They need to put a little bit more effort towards finding out what's going on with our kids, so that we can keep our community.
Because I mean that was one thing. Like, you know, I mean, I done spoke to some of the like the top, you know, city officials, and they like, well, they be trying, but they just don't got this, like our forensics and team and all that. Well, I'm like, well, I mean, y'all got some money, like you got all these grants out here. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you could take that money and use for that, but I'm pretty sure y'all getting big pensions, cut back on some of them pensions, and go get somebody from Columbus or something that specializes in that and bring them down here for a little bit and let them.
Well, I just
look
want
at
them
some
to know
stuff.
that it's worthy to their benefit if they take time to figure out that for this particular city. I think it's worth it to find out what's going on with our youth. And to be, you know, and to find out if it's somebody that's out there that's responsible that they taking off our streets or whatever needs to be done. So I give shouts out to all the young men who done lost their lives in this city, in all cities, but particularly in this city, because like I said, most of them I cut them as young men, and I knew their fathers and their parents and stuff, and whether everybody thought the things that they might do might have been, they were still somebody's child. You know what I'm saying?
And the crazy thing is, G, is that all the young guys I know that's done passed, they done died by somebody that was once they homeboy.
Definitely.
Or that they came up, because we all one big city, then came up with somebody that's like you was seeing every day.
Definitely.
Somebody
It's
that
crazy.
we seen you with.
That fact. Crazy. And see, I ain't really laid it all the way out yet, but I got this plan. I don't want to give people my name yet, but I got this plan that I know I could probably save. I could probably save like 60% of the young teenagers. I got this plan, man, that we talk about it all the time. And y'all know this too. A lot of the young homies that's coming up, that's 13, 14, that's going down the deep end, they really just want to be lit. So what you kind of do is, I feel like you can get the people that they think that's lit, but we ain't in a drug game. You get me to come talk to them. I mean, no disrespect to the older guys, cause y'all got game, y'all pass it down to us, but it's time for us that's in our 30s and in our late 20s to go ahead and give it to the young boys, cause I feel like they receive it better. I ain't selling no drugs no more. But I'm still lit. I go out, I pop bottles, I go buy what I want, I ride nice. Let me talk to them. You can't come in there with a suit and a tie and a sweater on. They not trying to hear that.
They're not trying to hear it because
They don't think
they can.
My man's been working. Hold on, Gary. My man's been working his job for how long? You been there?
18 years.
You know, I don't want to put your business out, but he get any girl he want. He go buy whatever he want. He smoke as good as he want. He pop bottles, big bottles. He living like the guy that you want to live like, but you got to do bad to live like. And I just want to tell these young guys, you ain't got to do that, bro. You ain't got to do it.
They gotta see through the social media too. Like G was saying, he was like, that's why it's a shaky thing, because you know, social media, especially YouTube, got everything you want on it. You can search up the most smallest thing, and it's gonna be on YouTube. But it's just about what's you filtering through your mind. And it's like for us, like we watching podcasts about money. They could be watching them goddamn, like, you know, the murder podcast. And you know, and the thing is, like, you gotta understand, like, when they making these shows like the Snowfalls and the BMF, it was like what it was back then. But they just trying to let you know where they came from. Now, like, when he do get out of prison, he gonna be making legit money. And it's like we're gonna be able to look at him and like the real Rick Ross and all of them, they just living smooth now. Cause like they can really tell the story for what it is.
Yeah.
Like they've done what they need to do already. Now it's like they at that older age where it's like they kind of get to still see like the flowers, but it's like they had to earn it through a different lane.
Right, exactly.
So
What you about to say, Gary?
I can't actually recall, but I'm gonna say I really appreciate the opportunity to come here with y'all today.
Oh,
definitely.
You get the opportunity to be
Like I
part
said,
of
you
this,
you know
man.
you a pillar of the community. So
Yeah.
once they said they was bringing you with them, that just made it all even more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It made it even more special, man. It made it more special. You know what I'm saying? You done cut my hair as a young shorty, and I always been just a cool, good guy, man, laid back. I was gonna ask you that. Your dad he don't never yell or a lot. You ain't never heard him yell.
He do, but he don't have to use his voice so much because it's he a presence regardless.
Right.
So like he could give you a look without having to speak, but when he had to speak, it's because you made him have to speak. Like and you gonna hear what he gotta say. You gonna, he just when he get to that point, he yell. But sometimes you got to.
You want to be heard.
For sure.
Man, it's your boy Vuski, man, aka. Oh no, before we get out of here, I'm gonna ask all three of y'all this question. I'm moving too fast, and I ain't even had no drinks yet. You know, we always want to live till we 100 years old, but you know that sometimes it don't work out like that.
Yeah.
But what would you want the people to know? Like if you had to leave them with something
Remember you, Bob.
to remember you by, like, what would that be?
For me, it's just that I don't know. I guess you could say like I want them to know that I was just real. Like I ain't really bring no bullshit around me. Like it didn't come around with me. I was just real. Like you was gonna get the same Nolan every time. Cause it's like I don't want to be like the weird kid in the back of the class. Like I'm gonna talk to him just like I'm gonna talk to the most littest kid in the class. And it's just like that's me. I don't really gotta explain myself for it cause it's just me. So I want them to remember like I ain't never was on no fool shit. I'm just straight. Like I'm gonna rock with anybody that rock with me. So I'm transparent and shit like that.
I'm gonna piggyback off what he said. Like I want to be remembered as somebody that's real. Like you know that I ain't trying to put you in no situation or ask you to do nothing that I wouldn't do myself. Like I'm gonna look out for you like I look out for myself. If I care about you and I know you care about me at the end of the day, like it's just. I just want to be remembered as the dude with the heart. Like.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I'm just a little bit. I'm very committed to the things I do. You know, I just want to be remembered as committed and giving everybody a fair opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who you are and where you come from. You know, my mom told me a long time ago that anybody can teach you something in life. You know, and I tried to absorb and take everything that I could. So hopefully I'll be remembered because I try to give everybody what I have for them in a day, you know, good, bad, and the ugly, you know, but just trying to be dedicated, man, and staying motivated at what I did for so long.
Yes, sir. Yes,
To
sir.
piggyback off that too, I feel like being like taking it to being like a young parent too. Like we definitely need to see more of that just within us young parents. Like instead of trying to teach what's popular, just kind of piggyback off what our like OGs taught us because it's like. I always see on social media, it's like, I never do that, it's a new day, but it's like, it's getting crazier because the morals is dropping. So how could you not see no value in what was taught before when it's like, you see, like, what they call it, like the Gen Zs, and then you got the ones before, it's like, it's getting crazier because, there's no morals, so it's like, if we can go back a little bit to where it had more morals, and we get to now, it's like it could benefit for us.
Yeah. The Gen Zs is it's a whole new thing, right? The Gen Zs is a whole new thing. Cause I'll be talking to my son with him, and like I said, I got a teenager, man, and it's like he'd know the right thing to do, and he'd tell me like, or if he sees somebody doing something that's just off the wall, he like, why they doing that? But then it's like he'd kind of like a couple days later, he'd kind of do the same thing, and I'm like, bro, you know, like you know, you just said that you just seen them do this, and you know that wasn't the right way. They ain't moving right. So, you know,
I feel the same way because I got a little brother. I know my dad went through some of the same stuff with me, but like seeing my little brother go through some of the stuff that is turning him into the man, and remembering back, like I was doing the same thing.
How
like,
far apart is y'all?
5 years.
Okay.
So like,
yeah, that's
and it's kind of like, man, you watch me go through it. Why you doing it again? But like, everybody got to learn for themselves.
Yeah,
You can't learn. Not everybody is going to learn from somebody else's mistakes. You got to learn from your own sometimes. Like,
And that's what I had to accept as a father and learn as a father is that, you know, everybody different. You know what I'm saying?
right.
They all learn in their own time. But, you know, one time I had got real upset with little Gary, and I was mad. I was yelling. You know what I'm saying? I was going off, and I was upset, breathing heavy, and a good friend of mine, I went back in the barber shop, and my friend said, hey, man, you trying to save him, man. You can't save him. He said, you know, your mama and your daddy told you, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, and you pretty much did the opposite of everything they told you to do because you had to get burnt in order to know that that's why they told you not to do it.
Right.
So, you know, it wouldn't be no different with him, and it's not no different than with my youngest son.
Right.
You know, they all got to learn in stride, just like as well as y'all did. You know, that's the best. That's the best lessons.
Yeah.
It's the ones in stride. So.
Yeah. So you heard it here. You heard it from the OG. Just you keep playing around, you're gonna get burnt. But hopefully you learn from it.
it's hot.
Always
You say
learn.
it's hot.
It's hot.
Get hot. Get hot. But man, thank y'all for coming, man. Shout out to the social medias and all that before we get out of here. Shout out to
So we on Instagram, all about Cutz 2.
Yep, and
Facebook. We catch us down at 2323 Central Avenue, Middletown, Ohio. Post it up.
and what's your personal Instagram?
Fendi Cutz with a K.
I'm Bezo the Blender, DA.
Okay.
Just look at theirs. I still don't have it. But hey, I'm down. I'm at 23. We on the corner of Schaefer and Central Avenue.
Yes, sir.
Right, in the red brick building.
You'll see the barber pole.
Oh, yeah. Thank y'all for coming through, man. It's your boy Vuskeen, aka Fatback Jackson. Ooh, with Big Dog Chucky Russell.
And this is the Cookout Podcast.
The world's most secure podcast.
We out.
Hey. You act like you had something to drink too. I'm waiting on you like.
You said.